We was barreling down the highway. It was Christmas Eve and the truck driver had to get home. I'd hitched a ride with him. He had a little Christmas tree on the dashboard with twinkling lights and everything. I pointed to where my road turned off the highway. He pulled her to a stop and said I was welcome to come have Christmas with him and his family. He knew how hard it was being out on the road and all. I said, "That's mighty kind of you, but I'm going to try to make it home by Christmas morning before the kids wake up. I'll just have to walk from here." We shook hands, grabbed my bag with the presents, jumped down from the big Kenworth, and he rolled away, going quickly through the gears, the sound of the big diesel getting swallowed up by the desert. The last thing I heard was his air horn saying goodbye. Then it was quiet. Christmas Eve, 1953, out in the middle of nowhere. I was walking a dirt road across the Mojave Desert. Didn't even think about hitching another ride, because I knew this was one of those roads that starts over there and ends over there with nothing in between. Nobody's ever on it. But mileage-wise, it was shorter than the big highways where you weren't sure of getting a ride anyway. I figured my wife and kids was already in bed. It's going to be a long walk home. I shifted the bag of Christmas presents to my other hand and tried to whistle, but it only made it lonelier. As I was walking, I pictured in my mind another Christmas when I was a boy, and I had cousins, and there was snow and music and cookies and church. And during the pageant, in the little alcove between the stage and the choir, I kissed Pookie Mapes. One of those things that has to be done. If you put it off too long, you'll live in fear of girls for the rest of your life. Christmas seemed the perfect time for her, so I did it. While they's all singing, "Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel," I joined in a little extra loud. I was feeling good. It was a wonderful Christmas. Then there was a year when I had to climb the ladder and put the star at the top of the Christmas tree. As I fell, I pulled the tree over with me. I started laughing. My sister cried. Back on the desert road, dark, the stars was brilliant, covering the sky, I suddenly stopped. I thought I saw a dim light off in front of me. Couldn't make out where it was coming from, but it wasn't moving. As I got closer, I could just barely make out an old flatbed truck on the side of the road. It was up on a jack. One of the wheels was off. There was a man and a young girl looking at the tire that was flat and off the rim. The old man and me, I said hi. They didn't say anything. The old man gestured, would I help him? I was about to say no, because I was in a hurry, when I heard a baby coo coming from the truck bed. I saw a woman nursing the baby. She was laying on some blankets with a jacket for a pillow. I asked if she was all right. She didn't answer. She just closed her eyes. Then, all of a sudden, like someone had clicked a switch, a dim light came on. I bent my head back till I was looking straight up into the sky and saw that one of the stars seemed to have moved a little closer and was hovering over us like a street light, only farther away. That was passing strange. But it did allow me to see what the problem was here and what I had to do if I was going to help this little family and how much time was it going to take. I didn't have any extra time, and the man didn't have the right tools. What they needed was to get some air in the tire, but they didn't have a pump, and, well, shoot, I couldn't just leave them there. I put down my bag of presents and went to work. I managed to siphon some gas from the truck. I set the tire on the rim as best I could. I splashed some of the gas into the tire. I lit a match, threw it in, and stood back. There was a tiny explosion, like boom. The explosion caused a vacuum that sucked the air out of the tire and pulled it onto the rim, and just like that, the tire was full of air and ready for use. The man and the little girl looked at the tire, then at me, then back to the tire. They did this 3 times. Never said a word or changed their expression. woman smiled. We got the tire on the wheel and the wheel on the axle that was holding up the truck, but we had to back off the jack because the lever broke. Didn't matter. He was ready to go now. The man and the girl checked on the woman and the baby. Then they got in the truck and started it up. The man leaned across the girl and opened the passenger side door and motioned for me to get in. I set my bag with the presents in the bed of the truck and hopped in the cab, and we chugged away. We had no headlights, so we had to go slow. So far, nobody had said a word. We'd only gone a little way when it got lighter again. The girl pointed out the windshield. We looked at that same beautiful star just hanging in the sky off in front of us. It was bright and it twinkled. We could see good enough now to drive. We kept gazing at it as we drove along. It seemed to be following us, or maybe it was leading, I don't know. After a while, the old man stopped the truck. He indicated he was going to turn down a dirt road I didn't know was there. So I got out and nodded to him, and they pulled away. They got about 20 yards down the dirt road and stopped. The woman sat up in the bed of the truck and called, "Feliz Navidad!" I answered, "Merry Christmas to you too, senorita. And hey, my presents in the back of the truck." The man and the little girl waved out their windows. They couldn't hear me. They drove off down the dark road and disappeared. Now what? Oh, hell. Let them keep the presents. Merry Christmas to the whole family. I started walking again. I'm just glad I had that twinkling star to guide me home.